Welcome, everyone. What does cancer feel like? That's a good question. My name is Brian Davis. BrianDavisAlive.com is the website, and cholangiolar carcinoma is my victim. I am a cholangio warrior, without question. For those of you that don't know, cholangiolar carcinoma is, in layman's terms, bile duct cancer. It's a nasty beast. I don't know any other way to put it. But I made a commitment earlier this week, on Monday, that I would post a video every day to YouTube starting this week. And it gets easier when you're ahead of the game. I know some YouTubers and online personalities that, they create their content, a bit in advance. So when you have a day that you're not feeling 100%, you go ahead and post. And that's great. And in the future, I'll probably do more of that. But right now, I think it's real, And, what does cancer feel like? That's a good question. Like I said before, I'm going to keep these videos under 15 minutes from now on, because I know that gets long. I mean, I don't have 30 minutes here today. It was crazy. But I'm getting off topic, and I apologize. What does cancer feel like? Let me say this first. Let me premise this. This is my experience, okay? Not trying to in any way imply that any other cancer patient feels the way I do. This is how I feel. This is my testimony. So, anyway, when I'm talking about how cancer makes you feel, I'm talking about myself. So, how does cancer make me feel? It's hard to describe. I can tell you this. Since probably about this time last year, mid-April to mid-May, in that range, since then till now, over the last year, I can count on one hand how many pain-free days I've had. I just don't have them. I tell people that, I have good days and bad days. And how I determine what a good day is and what a bad day is for me is how ambitious I am for the day. That's what I miss the most. I used to get up at 3:30 in the morning, and I would work out. I was in my store by 5:30. Hitting the ground running. By 9 o'clock in the morning, I literally had more done in that time than most people do an entire day. That's just the truth. And I woke up every day just ready to attack the world, And I still, here's the problem, is I still wake up that way. My mind still works the way it did. My body doesn't keep up. That's the problem. So when people, ask you having a good day or having a bad day, or, was today a good day or bad day? I say good day or bad day, but I think a lot of people equate that to pain. And I don't. I equate it to how much ambition do I have. And it drives me nuts when people ask me if I'm feeling bad. Are you feeling bad today? If I'm honest, it does. It drives me crazy. It's a common question. I would do the same thing. It's the polite thing to do. You run into somebody that's fighting a battle like I'm fighting, and you ask them, you're not feeling well today? No. I'm battling stage 4 cancer. It's determined, it's no known cure. It's been designated terminal. It's a battle. I've been on chemo for over a year. Yeah, I don't feel good today. I woke up today, I didn't have any ambition. Well, I shouldn't say that. I wake up every day with ambition, so I guess I'm wrong. I don't rate a good day or a bad day by my ambition. This is why I like to talk this stuff out. It's not rated by ambition, because I wake up every morning ambitious. I have all kinds of ideas of the things I want done or I want to get done. My wife would attest, I drive her crazy. I would have to say that I rate my days based on my fatigue level. That makes more sense. Because even though my mind is sharp, even though I have ideas, even though there's a lot of things I want to get done, I have to today prioritize what absolutely has to be done so that I can wake up in the morning. I mean, it really gets down to that. There's all kinds of things I would love to do. There's some things that I have to do, that I have to get done around here. And then there's some things that I should get done around here. The things I want to do have to take a back seat. I keep kind of a running list of things that I would like to do. And those are for the days when I'm caught up on everything. But to answer your question, and I love it when people post questions. What does cancer feel like? Before I was diagnosed, I was very much into fitness, and I didn't even know I was sick. I had no idea. I had no symptoms. It's part of this disease. It's a creeper. Once the symptoms show up, it's typically too late. The people that are diagnosed in stage 1 or 2 of this disease, the evidence that I've seen is that it's by accident. Doctors were looking for something else. They were doing a different procedure, and the tumor showed up, and they're like, "Whoa, what is that?" And typically a CAT scan. There was a CAT scan done for something, and the tumor was found that way. Me, it was symptoms. The symptoms came up. I got itchy all over. I started, turning jaundice. I already had a pretty good tans, or I already had pretty good complexion, so that really didn't show up as much as my eyes. When my eyes started turning yellow, that was a real red light. My son had pointed out, so we went to the ER, and sure enough, they thought it was going to be a gallbladder issue. That's very typical, but no. Or Hep C. That was another thing. Very typical. They thought, oh, Hep C. That was the first thing that came out of Dr. Mo's, Hep C. Probably hepatitis. I'm thinking, no way. I'm thinking, to me, in my mind, I'm thinking hepatitis C, worst case scenario. Gallbladder, no big deal. Take that out. In my mind, I thought at that moment, Hep C would be the worst case scenario. I thought, man, that's horrible. I hope that's not it. Unfortunately, it was a C, but it wasn't Hep C. It was cancer. But it's nerve pain. If I describe it, like I said, I was into fitness big time, so I understood different types of pain. I've had injuries. I was in a motorcycle accident. I've done a few different things. So I've had injuries where I know what pain feels like, injury pain. Okay. Then you have fatigue pain from like working out. When your muscles have been fatigued and they're repairing themselves, and you get that soreness, typically worst 2 days after a workout. And then you have nerve pain, like when your sciatic nerve is out, or you've got a bad filling, that sharp nerve pain. That's what I have, is nerve pain. And the only other pain I have is in my liver itself. I get a cramping. But it's very, very much similar to nerve pain, except it comes on like in a cramp, and then it just stays, and it like grabs a hold of me, and it just like twists, like it's got fingers and knives, and it just holds on. Just holds there. And it just seems to be that if I can get my breathing under control to where I can get a breath, to where I can slow my heart rate, this lets up a little bit. And slowly it releases. That doesn't happen all the time. There's no real rhyme or reason to that one. It's not like I know if I eat something particular, something like that's going to happen, or... But day in, day out pain. What does cancer feel like? For me, it feels like nerve pain. It's constant. It's like it's like when you have a pinched nerve in your back, or you have sciatica, or like when you move just right, like kind of takes your breath away. That pain, take that pain, that feeling, that pain, or a bad feeling, you get that sharp shooting pain, you bit something wrong, that sharp shooting knife-like pain, that nerve pain. Now take it, deaden it a little bit to the point to where it's bearable, but still there, and then let it pulsate, like with your heart rate. A constant pulsating nerve pain. It runs up and down my back, my spine, along the sides of my spine, along my loins, kind of, I guess you would call them, down my back. I do have that in my liver also. But that's more, well, any of it. I mean, it's up or down. It ebbs and flows. But other than that, the hearing loss. But it's funny you ask. And here's the twist, and I'm going to be getting off here pretty quick. Here's the twist that I'm going to throw out there, is I had zero pain when I was diagnosed, and I was closest to death at that point. They gave me 21 days if they couldn't get this drain placed in me, and only a 20% chance of getting that place to drain off my liver because I'd let the tumor go so far. Not intentionally. I didn't know I was sick. Okay? Let me reiterate. Until symptoms show up, this usually doesn't get diagnosed. Okay? Once the symptoms show up with cholangiocarcinoma, it is typically too late. You're stage 4. Like I said, finding people 1 or 2 is by accident. But I felt great. I didn't feel sick. I was working out on a regular basis and all those kinds of things. And now here we are a year later, and I'm like a freight train, My body can't keep up with my ambitions. I have constant pain. But from a blood work standpoint, from the size of the tumor standpoint, from the drainage of the liver, from the functioning of all my organs, including my liver, functioning at 100% right now. From an all-over standpoint, I'm healthier today than I was a year ago, in the scheme of things. But I have constant pain. So I can't help but ask myself how much of that pain is from the chemo and not cancer. So I guess, I don't know that I can really answer your question, what does cancer feel like? What I can tell you is what it feels like to be in treatment trying to beat cancer. I've only ever had chemo. So I don't know. And I haven't been off it long enough right now to know the difference. I'm going back on Monday. By the grace of God, I get into an immunotherapy trial. I'll have something else to compare it to. I'll have a treatment regimen to compare chemo to. And at that point, I might be able to determine whether or not it's the cancer that makes me feel this way, or it's the chemo. So to answer your question, I hope I did to some degree. If your question was really what does it feel like to be in treatment, rather than what does cancer feel like, I don't know. So with that, it hasn't been the best day, but as I promised, a video. It's a little bit later in the day, like you see, it's almost 8 o'clock, and these aren't my best hours. I'm crashing pretty quick here. The sun's going down, and I don't do well when the sun goes down. I'm already feeling slower. But it's been a long day. We've had a lot go on. So with that, it's almost 15 minutes. Brian Davis here, briandavislive.com's website. Don't forget right here, right down here, click on the subscribe, starburst. I love each and every one of you. Have a blessed day.